From the Litchfield Hills to Long Island Sound. You are watching Live with Lumi and Michelle. And now your host, MicheleMarieDalene.
Hi guys, Hail and Mary, meet everybody, MicheleMarieDalene. Of course, today is Thursday, and of course, we have a couple topics I want to discuss about the night shows, because there's been some questions about what is really the best approach to the night shows, because we have people saying it'd be best to have the night shows in YouTube, and some are saying it's best to have the night shows on Twitch, and some are saying it's best to have one night show on YouTube and one night show on Twitch, and frankly, it just makes it a little harder because I'm not sure really what the best answer is. And the reason I say that is because, as we know, we're trying to expand our Twitch system as well as our YouTube system. But the difference is obviously Twitch is not monetized and YouTube is monetized. So we kind of run into that, what's the better way to go? I don't know. I really don't know. It's one of those kind of gotchas. You know, you want to reach out to more people. You want to have more people be part of the show. Right now I'm just sending out links to everybody here. Because not everybody has their notifications turned on, so it makes it hard for me, because, I mean, like Krista, for example, does sometimes know we're live, but not always. So I'm trying to send out links to people like Craig Sr., Krista, Stan CT knows we're live, I'm sure. Craig Sr., though, he does know when we're live on YouTube because he just checked the YouTube scene a lot. No, it's not. It's Thursday. Yeah. Alright, it is Thursday morning. Yeah. Alright, so today's weather forecast is showing that it is going to be pretty mild this morning. Temperatures will be about 14 degrees Celsius, which isn't bad. I mean, it's like, 58 degrees Fahrenheit? Yeah, get out there and play for an hour a day if you can. I'm thinking about walking to McDonald's today just because, well, at the Sip Kitchen yesterday, and also, and I kind of agreed, cheap pizza does not make good ingredients. Papa John's is right about that. It's good ingredients that makes good pizza. Because we bought some cheap store brand pizzas that were crap. Okay. So absolutely atrocious. I didn't like the Stop and Shop regular pizza, and he certainly didn't like the Stop and Shop Supreme pizza. But that doesn't surprise me. I'm really not surprised at all. It's because just like Papa John says, better ingredients make better pizza, and that's a real true fact. You're not gonna get a good pizza if a pizza is made like garbage. All right, let me get the private panel up for the people here on YouTube, and then and maybe I'll get the public one open too. But let's see if we can get the private one up first, and get the people talking. Leo, maybe Craig. I don't know if Craig has a link to the private panel. I can send him a copy if he doesn't have it. Just, come on, let's go. Hey, where's the sound? You're playing that game with me again? Yeah, you know what I think about that game? I'm talking about the sound card. Yeah. Yeah, the sound card. Yeah, you're playing that game with me again. I hate that game. What is the game he's playing? It's basically... It's not saying a peep. Oh well, we'll fix that another way. Alright, turn on the line output instead. There we go. No, we'll just deal with it that way. So anyway, yeah, I just absolutely think it's important to keep in mind that cheap pizza does not make good pizza. Cheap pizza does not make good pizza. But I do have a little more updates on the truckers thingus, and I wanted to talk about that real quickly, but I don't know if you're allowed to talk about that on YouTube or if you'll get stricken, so I don't know how much I can say. But all I can tell you is that American truckers are starting to rally along with their Canadian friends and the industry. They agree with the Canadian truckers that the industry is already regulated enough that they don't need to see any more garbage. So hi to Kevin. Okay, hi Kevin, how you doing? Well, thank you very much. Delightful presents. Yeah. So, the truckers, of course, we know are key to our economy. No truckers. I just did. Kevin, how you doing? Are the backbone of our society along with the railroads. Without the truckers, you can have all the railroads you want, but getting the stuff to the final last mile would be very hard to do. But just bringing things to the grocery stores, there's no railroads to every single store in America. That would be nice, but that's not realistic. I've had in SimCity 3000, that's exactly what I did. I built a city of railroads and no roads at all, just railroad tracks. And I had no choice but to add roads because there wasn't enough railroads going to satisfy the transportation of everything. No, they're not making any kind of bomb. Now, obviously, as you may know, speaking of bombs, Ukraine, I'm only going to cover this briefly. There is artillery fire going on. There's shelling going on. Have been injuries reported in Ukraine. So we don't know. We know that they believe the Russians are the ones that hacked the Ukrainian websites, banking, and government. So that's something to keep in mind. Semi-exhaust in the tank. But you know what? I'll tell you a secret. I don't know about that, but if you ever studied the history of the London Underground before the electrification of the London Underground, steam engines would do the same thing. They would bottle up their exhaust gases in at predetermined locations in the underground, where these fake buildings which really were chimneys, which then they would just blow all the exhaust gases from the flue box into the outer air through the simulated buildings. How you doing, Georgie bro? How are you doing today? We got a new person from Twitch. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, morning show. And the morning show is, and the World of Warcraft streams are the two that are currently streamed on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And then the night shows currently on Twitch only. So if you would like to let other people know about this channel on Twitch, I'd appreciate it really much. Have you ever watched Fuda? You mean on Pornhub? Yeah, I've watched it. I don't know the answer if that's necessary. Ban this gang guy. Who's this guy you're talking about? Oh, you mean I don't know what that means, but just I wouldn't ban anybody unless they really, really, really are bad. I don't like to ban people necessarily. I mean, I will eventually if it's determined that they have caused nothing but absolutely disrupt everything, then I will ban them. But normally, that's not the way I like to do things with YouTube or Twitch. Twitch is a little more forgiving than YouTube is. I'm at the help review. Yeah, that's what I basically hit. So today's a good day to go out there and start doing things like maybe organizing the storage bin, which would be a nice job. Except the landlord's maintenance crew is still working on the other apartment. And so they got the tile saw out there, they're cutting ceramic tile, and they're still doing touch-ups and finishing work on the apartment. So I don't know what that means. How you doing, Kevin? How you doing, Cruiser? I don't know what crunk means. But hoping to get Chris to come on this morning. The question on the world is, are we going to see One American? I don't know. So is Krista coming on the show today? I don't know. What's your plans, Krista? Where are you? Krista? You coming on? Well, I hope so. I don't know. She has a family to take care of, so I don't know when she'll be on. But anyway, we had a very interesting show last night on Twitch. And it's we covered a lot of different things. Like, for example, Tiger Kitty is considering coming up here to Connecticut to visit me in a couple of months, maybe around April. Okay. Can you let Yam be what? It can be anything he wants. Andrew, how you doing? Hey, I get you on the public panel, I guess. Only thing is that unless, yeah, let me get the public panel open too. We have the private one open, but that's for. I don't know if Andrew is on the private panel or not, but we'll get the public one open. Get that open. Get this thing going. Okay. Copy. Copy. Okay. Oops. I highlight the link here. Link to our public Google Meets. So I don't know if we're don't know if we're gonna go to the soup kitchen or if we're gonna go to the McDonald's or something. But yesterday's lunch was fine. But I have to be honest, I kind of uh, felt it was kind of limited in what was available. Tons of snow coming to over the next 2 days. Really? Really, you're getting a lot of snow, huh? Must be part of the system, something that's coming from the northern areas of the North Atlantic, because we're not going to get any snow here for a few days. Unless you're in the Midwest, and then you're going to probably get some, too. Doing pretty good, thanks. Not too long home. Been in light duties at work. Stitch is coming out tomorrow. How are you? I'm fine. I've been doing my own thing. Just relaxing, chilling out, trying to get things done for spring. Me and Ed were talking this morning about his wants and his desires, what he wants to do, what he's like. He's not doesn't really have a clear objective yet. Well, I said part of the problem isn't even your fault, which is you're hoping that it's gonna work out with other people and that they don't know what they want, that they're kind of snarling you up. Well, because you want to live with them, but they don't know if they're gonna stay there or if they're gonna go there or if they're gonna go somewhere else. And I said, but right now, Ed, the sad truth is Connecticut has become too expensive for both the East and West Coast of the United States have gotten to be too expensive. Midwest would be cheaper, but we don't know anybody in the Midwest. He whined. I said, well, I don't know anybody either. But for instance, if we were to go together, we would. And I don't have a car. I said, I know that. You need to save some money. Yeah, the weather's gonna be nice for me now. Today it's gonna be like in the low, like in the upper 50s. It's gonna be nice weather to go outside and do fun things. Anyway, the panel is open, Andrew. I don't know if you know that. Talking about the public and the private one. That's the public one. Private one is open too, but I don't know when anyone's coming on it. I never know who's coming on it. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. So, most important thing for me is that I am absolutely do understand what, as I said, what its concerns are, but I think that problem is a lot more than just him. I think the problem is that the situation in the United States for people on fixed income is ridiculous. They are not giving people on fixed income the kind of money that they need for renting an apartment. I don't see how anybody, Connecticut, or any New England, or any even East Coast, West Coast city can afford to move on fixed incomes. The United States gives a ridiculously small benefit. Yes, Red, I see you. I saw you log by and you walked away from me. So, obviously, Red will have to come page me again, I guess. Or page me on the private panel. I don't know. So, I mean, the whole thing is that the United States government does not treat people on low income with respect. I'm beginning to regularly tell my neighbor that she can have parcel delivered to my door if she's at college. They love just having the parcels at my door. Okay. Really? Just leaving the parcels at your door? Yeah. Okay. Which means it just adds an additional step for you to make sure to check for deliveries. I don't know how often you get your parcels delivered to your door. I'm sure that your postman or postwoman comes at a certain time of the day. But FedEx and UPS is another story. That's why they've been done when we get back. No cards. It's just stuff for kids. Okay. Watch out for porch pirates, Andrew. I'm sure that's why your neighbor asked you to watch your mail, because for porch pirates, they will literally steal anything that's in a box. And especially if it's one of those boxes where and sometimes Amazon or some shippers do this and will wrap it in clear plastic. Takes away the fun, right? Oh, I see an Amazon box on the doorstep. Oh, what's inside? Oh, this is like with my saccharin, right? They wrapped it in clear plastic. Right? Someone can see 1,500 count saccharin packets. I don't need that many, says the porch pirate. I don't even know who eats that stuff. Ew. I do. But anyway, the snow might keep them away. Snow, I wish I never agreed to it. Yeah, well, maybe you should call her up and say, look, this may not be such a good choice from you after all. Maybe you should have another friend that's more likely going to be able to guarantee that your packages are safe. Receive them. Yeah, I know. But depending on how long she's expecting you to watch that stuff, you could find your entire hallway full of boxes. You know, I mean, if it's for a few days, not a problem. But if you're talking about a whole semester, I mean, you're talking about what? About 3 to 6 months? All of a sudden, you got, depending on what she's shipping you, you could end up with your whole entire hallway could be filled with every conceivable box of every conceivable size. Yeah. Alright, so let me get back to the main question I started out this morning with, is the fact that last night we were talking on Twitch about what would be the best way to solve the great divide between the YouTubers and the Twitchers. The Twitchers, a lot of them are not really into my content. I wouldn't say none of them are, so a lot of them are not. Because it's not gaming. I mean, how about the night show? YouTubers, primarily the drama community, like the night show on YouTube, but do not want to migrate to Twitch. Yeah, I can understand that. Once I go to sleep, I'm over the count, and she bangs on the door and phones, but I'm a healthy sleeper, heavy sleeper. No, my phone's not even ringing right now. No, there's someone on my phone right now. It's very interesting. That's interesting. Hillary jumped by a reporter on the street. Gets asked questions she didn't want on spying. One American Network and AWE are now on U.S. TV now. Wealth TV and Wealth and Entertainment. I haven't checked out U.S. TV in years. But there's this network called U.S. TV that you can go to and to watch some of the over-the-air TV reception. Oh, trust me, I can hear my phone if it rings. I accept phone calls from a very limited number of people on the show. Last phone call came in at 9:49 in the morning from New York, New York. Prior to that was Stores Mansfield, Connecticut at 9:44. Prior to that was Enfield, Connecticut yesterday. Messages from New York, New York says, this is not a pizzeria, Jesus. Voice. I don't know where Leo is. She's usually here. Checking both panels. She's not on either one of them. Yes. Okay. Which panel are you going to be jumping on, Andrew? Because we have 2 panels open right now. Doesn't matter. I'll just listen for the doing, and then I'll try to check them both out. Ew. Alright, I won't let anyone up except for Andrew. I don't expect him to come. Well, Andrew could easily come in a private panel because Andrew should know the code by now. The public panel is another story. It's nothing. Nothing happened, Noodles. Well, I know he can go up. It's open. The public panel is open to anybody. So it's a slow morning. Just a slow day. They're still working on apartment 10. They're still got their tile saw out there. They're still cutting tile pieces and fitting pieces. How you doing, Leo? Both the private and the public panel are currently both open right now. But there's nobody on either one. No, I don't think so. By the way, the situation in Ukraine is they said there's already been some artillery fire and shelling going on. So, and there have already been reported injuries in the Ukraine. So, I don't know who's doing the shooting. Okay, Andrew Scott is on this one. Let him on. Good morning. Okay, Andrew Scott is on this one. Let him on. Gotta mute. You gotta mute. Good morning. Okay, Andrew Scott is on this one. Let him on. Andrew, you gotta mute. You gotta mute the YouTube panel, so otherwise you don't get an echo. How you doing? All right, so that's the public panel waiting for Andrew to come back on. So obviously getting this microphone ready.
Yeah, sorry about that, Michelle. Yeah, Leo, I think once I get the stitches out tomorrow, I should be fine.
I don't know. Leo's going to be on the private panel or the public panel, so I don't know which one she's going to be on.
Yeah, I think once I get the stitches out tomorrow, Leo, I should be feeling less restricted. I think it's more the stitching that's actually made myself feel a bit more.
Yeah.
Sorry, less able to move type of thing. But it's on light duties today, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's been fine. You know, I'm okay now, a lot better. Thank you.
I'm glad that you're feeling
I'm trying,
better.
Leo. I'm trying. Sorry, Michelle.
Okay, I was just saying I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, thank you.
Stan CT says good morning. Listen to last night's show replay.
Thanks.
Tiger Kitty and Leo mentioned possibly coming up to see Michelle. Suggests ladies consider coming between May 21st and July 3rd for the Harwinton Fair, Renaissance Fair. Is that the one? Yeah, the Renaissance Fair. That would probably be awesome. I think they would be. I think they would
Michelle,
enjoy
so I'm
that.
feeling pretty more aligned. So
yeah, I think they would like that. So Tiger Kitty, if you're watching this either live or in the rerun, if you come up between the period of time of May 21st, let's see, make sure we get this right here, and July 3rd, you can have them go to the Renaissance Fair called the RobinHoodFair.com website. I think that would be an awesome idea. Also, Tiger Kitty said that she wanted to explore the 3 pieces of rooming available in motels in my area. From 1 star, as far as I'm concerned, it's really no star, but okay, to something like a 4-star, which is the Roadway Inn. I personally would stay away from Hotel Siberia, but if you really want to check it out.
I don't think anyone would like to live in Siberia. Not by choice, anyway.
No, the Hotel Siberia is a dive. It is a...
All right, is this an actual place?
Well, that's not what it's actually called, but it's called the Brass Horse. It's a little motel chain. If you ever seen the movie there, oh God, let's see. I keep forgetting what it was called now. But anyway, the point is, it's like that. It's like a small bar and motel right next to each other, and they're kind of like.
That sounds like anywhere else I've ever worked in.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the point is that they don't even have room. They don't even have room service, to my knowledge. You gotta wash your own sheets. Okay. You gotta take care of your own room.
Well, it's funny, Michelle, you saying that, and obviously the pandemic's pretty much over now.
I definitely say it's a 0-star.
But when the pandemic was on its height,
Lakeside Motel's a little bit better, but it's like a 1-star. And then of course you got the Roadway Inn, which is like a 4. I would definitely say go to the 4-star if you can afford it. I was there at the Roadway Inn; it wasn't bad. It's got an indoor pool and which is unfortunately super chlorinated. Because it's an indoor pool, there's really not much ventilation. It's just chlorine.
Yeah,
I was afraid even going into the pool room because the fact is my hair is bleached, and I didn't want my hair to turn green or worse, fall out of my head.
Yeah, Michelle, when you have a pool of any type in a situation like that, or a location like that, you have to have chlorine in the pool. Because it's just
I know
it's always been like that. That's not a new thing,
Yeah, but you know what it is that the fact is that it seemed like that the pool really needed ventilation to to air it out more than the pool was being heavily chlorinated made sense. Yes, I agree. But the fact is that there was no real. Well, it was winter time when I went there. There was like no windows that were open. There was no ventilation.
The reason for that is, Michelle, I can tell you what the main reason is because of that in the past. I hate to say the past because it was only like 2 years ago, was because of things like insects floating in your pool, and it makes it a lot harder for people that have to clean those pools out.
Right, that's
more
true.
Annoying.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Ask anybody who has an outdoor pool what it's like to use the skimmer try to pick up little bugs. Because one landlord we lived in had an outdoor above ground pool, and it was just like that. It was always going out there with the skimmer and trying to get the little bugs in the leaves that fell in it.
Everything like floats in the windows, you don't want them in your pool. especially when you're trying to make sure people are having the best experience. Air quotes, I hate all that shit, but you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, even if even if you had, I mean, maybe don't have windows because where it was located in the building, but maybe have some way of ventilation to get some of the excess chlorine smell out of the pool room
Right.
itself.
And that's why they always have showers to make sure that chlorine's gone
Mm-hmm.
off you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, like I wanted to I wanted to go swimming in the pool, but I didn't have my bathing suit with me. It was one thing, and the other reason was my hair was bleached, so I was concerned
Oh, okay.
that if I
No,
go
no,
in
but
that
they
water,
don't take
is
bleaching hair or dyed hair into account.
how much damage would it do to my hair? Considering the place is built in the 1980s, I'm
Well,
sure
I
they were
suppose
using
it depends on
plastic pipe, which
what
is
type of
fine. But if
shampoo
they
or
were using
conditioner you take
copper
into the
pipe,
shower.
then my hair would turn green. So I was like, no, no, no,
Green? Oh my
no, no,
god.
I don't want to go in
Oh,
there. No, 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 no. I walked, right, I
oh, I'm
looked
too
into the
tired.
window and you could smell the chlorine through the window. I mean, through the door. It was like, oh my god, that is really strong in there.
It is. I mean, any pools like that because I mean, you know, everyone's sort of directed in the last couple of years because it's so concentrated on how hygienic you can be. But people should have been hygienic beforehand. You know, we've said this for
Yeah.
decades. You know, you don't go into a pool if you are looking like some sort of
Well, unfortunately, there was no
you know.
realistic way for them to have an outdoor pool because the way
Right.
that the hotel was set up, there really wasn't
Mhm.
provisions for an outdoor pool.
No, of course not. Right.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Put it in the parking lot? I mean, that's about the only choice you really would
No,
have,
no,
considering it was a big giant C shape. Kind of a blocky
in fact, you
C,
probably
but
could.
here, here, and then of course people come into the parking lot over here. The parking lot is like the center of everything. I was like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you can't put the pool outside. That would probably was part of one thing the designer probably realized back when he built the place in the 70s and 80s
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
you're gonna have to put it inside, which makes it good for
Inside.
you can go swimming in the wintertime. But
Yeah, the thought of even swimming outside and this time of year, I mean, that's just scary. I mean, you'd freeze to death. You'd literally freeze to death. I think that's not a good thing.
oh yeah, and then don't forget though, even if you had a pool outdoors anyway, more than likely it would have been drained right now because of the summer until the spring when it
Well,
stays
where I
warm.
work, there is no pool outside, so which is probably a good thing. I hope so. But then again, you've got the North Sea next to you, and you take one step into that water. I mean, you literally feel how cold it is. It literally shoots up your whole body.
I did a polar bear plunge in my aunt's pool that she had open here pretty much up until November. I'm gonna tell you, when you hit that water and the water is only maybe about 3 degrees Celsius, you are not going to forget it. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. Um, I've never done it, but I've done it in the summer, and even then, it's still cold. You know,
Yeah,
um,
and
because
the roadway in is heated.
there's more water probably in terms of landmass. You know, and
Um,
especially if you're that far up here, you know, or far up north, Iceland or what Greenland, everything like that. You know, it's gonna be cold.
yeah.
If you're down in somewhere like
Where did he
it's gonna be a
go?
lot warmer.
Noodles. I don't know where he went. Are there any houses for rent, Stan? Okay. Um, Leo, that's a great question. I know that Tiger Kitty talked about it, but as far as houses for rent for a couple of days to weeks, I don't really know. Um, if she wanted to stay for a few months, she probably could find something to rent. Siani said I met up with a lady a few years ago for a night in a motel. Next working, I was stopped by cops suspicious of prostitution. Oh, really?
Well, Gianni, how did you feel about that? Could you understand her position? Because sometimes people have to make money in some ways.
Yeah, the Days Inn. I do know the Days Inn. Yeah, it's nice up there. So as you're saying, Andrew.
Yeah, just scroll up, Michelle. You might hopefully see it.
It's kind of hard to scroll up in the captions on the.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying, there's no way you could swim in the sea up here. You would just die of cold. Literally, you would die of cold, especially.
Oh yeah, I know. Especially now. Yeah,
even
you're
the
right.
summer. Even the summer is cold, Michelle.
Oh, I believe
it's like
it.
people. Once it hits July or August, and people think, "Oh my God, it's like 30 degrees Celsius. Oh, I can just swim in the sea." And the minute they hit the sea, they're like, "Okay, everything's shrunk up like a walnut," So just come back out there again.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things about the ocean that makes sense because the ocean is such a large body of water and it takes a lot of energy to heat it.
Right.
Right. I'm sure that the Roadway Inn would gladly tell you that when they heat their pool, they probably use a lot of natural gas to heat that pool up to keep it with, warm.
Pools are different from the sea, though. That's the thing. If you want to go into a pool, it's usually heated by certain machines and all that stuff. I don't.
Or even if it's not actually being physically heated by those machines, a pool is a smaller body of water. Think of a water dish versus a big giant bathtub. I mean, you're talking about a small container of water relative to the ocean, so the sun's going to likely be there to heat it up a bit.
So, Michelle, how has your week gone so far?
So far, my week's been okay. Like I said, I started up a guild on Windrest Accord. It's called Blind Ability. Nice. Right now, I'm looking to get some people to join it. We have we have 4 members of the guild. 2 of them haven't done anything yet. Me and one other guy. He's a level 50. He's like a level 53 Maldraxxus, and he's been doing things to level up for the guild. But
have you been promoting that guild?
Yeah, it's on the Guild Finder. It's on the Group Finder. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
The Roadway Inn is a popular meetup or tweak spot. Okay. Meetup spot, it makes sense because I don't think they really. I mean, Dory used to sleep with me at the Roadway Inn, and we never had a problem. Of course, my landlord was like, "Hey, I'm paying with you to stay here, not her." I said, "Jimmy, you're not the landlord here. The Roadway Inn is. So they're a different landlord. So if you have a problem with that, you need to talk to their landlord." And he did, and they said, "Oh, that's totally fine. Michelle can have guests stay over. We don't care." So it kind of glummed out Jimmy a little bit because he realized he didn't have any authority.
That's actually quite a good name for a guild. Blind Ability.
Blind Ability, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think it's short. It's pretty concise. I mean, if you read the guild finder, it says it's a guild for people that are blind and registered blind who want to be able to find other people to help us do dungeons and battlegrounds and raids and things like that. Because a lot of times the people that are registered and blind or legally blind, they need help. They get lost in the dungeons. Okay, when you go for a random group finder, all of a sudden you get kicked out of the dungeon, and you're like, I just got
Yeah.
lost. That doesn't mean
Well,
that I abandoned anybody.
Michelle, how do you see when you are being introduced into dungeons? How
Uh,
do you actually get around that? Because that sounds quite
just like everybody else, it depends on the
difficult.
map, or if it's been a dungeon I've done before, I memorized it good enough to how to get around there.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is if it's a new dungeon, you still depend on the map, but then you might get lost. Like I did in 1-1, I got totally lost trying to find the way to find where all the enemy or all the bosses were,
Okay.
and then people thought I abandoned the group, and then they kicked me out of it, and I was like,
Okay. Yeah. I've had that experience myself, but obviously not in that circumstance.
like I said, so one of the things in my blind ability is just that we want to give players a chance to do the dungeons, and not feel like they're going to be kicked out. Maybe where people, using a command called autofollow, which is a plugin for OBS, that we can follow them. For example, the priests can easily follow and the mages can work together. More, you
So,
got your
are you
tanks, they're going to
saying
probably be out there
if
in
they
the
were
front.
if you were an autofollow, would they then say to you, okay, you need to start doing some sort of spell or something to try and help out, type of thing?
Right, and I would also like when me and Paul and Skynet would do them together. It was the same deal. Okay, like they
Mm.
knew the dungeons better. They would tell me like, okay, you gotta jump over here, gotta take this turn, gotta do this turn.
Right. Okay.
And that's what we would do, and that worked out fine. I got my character Mikhail up to level 52, and then I said to him, well, I still got characters on Wind Mystic Court and Arkadan. I gotta get them leveled up too. And they're like, nah, we don't want to go to Arkadan. We don't want to do Wind Mystic Court. And I'm like, yeah, but they need to be leveled up too. I mean, I know that they're on an RP server. I like being on RP servers. So, I mean, it's an opportunity that I can have a social dialogue within character to other characters.
Yeah, but I would say as well, Michelle, it all has to come down to enjoyment. I mean, RP servers, they are more. I think they're a slight. They're slightly different from the sort of
No,
other
obviously.
servers. That makes sense.
You're right. They're absolutely different focus. They're not like the same thing where you got people focusing specifically on doing raids and dungeons and battlegrounds, but rather you're focused more on having a good time talking with other people. And
Yeah.
in one sense, that makes it great if you want to do the social leveling. It was just nice. And for some people, they might be a better environment for them because people get to know you better, even if you're in character. For example, I mean, they can see, oh wait, Michelle is registered blind. Gee, you know.
Oh, right. Okay. I see
But
what you're saying.
if the killer created the same group blind ability on Thunderlord, which is a standard server, she probably would get more people joining the dungeon. But yeah, they do.
See, I'm going back to when I ever played Warcraft. I remember the first
So it makes you think
dungeon I did.
Winstead has a meth problem. Meth is not the popular drug in Winstead. It's Mary Jane right now. Oh
That's
yeah,
not too much of a problem, I would say.
and some cocaine issues I think also exist too.
Okay, it's different, I suppose. Yeah.
Um, the right way in is by Bermuda Spot, Blind Ability Guild. Yep.
So when you say blind ability, does that apply to anyone else that has
Anybody
different
can join.
disability?
Anybody can join.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't matter if they are blind or not. It's open actually anyway when anyone, any handicaps can come. Even people that are not
Yeah, that's what I
handicaps
was
can
going to
be
ask
part
you.
of
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
So the point is of the group is that despite our disabilities, that we would like to have a group where people can help us to achieve our goals. You
Michelle, I
know,
think
of being
your
able to do
ding
dungeons and
dong was
raids
going there.
and stuff like that. So that's the whole point we created it.
Mm.
It's not like, oh, you have to be registered blind to join here. No, you don't.
So it could be any disability type of thing.
Any disability,
Right.
even if a person has, issues with their hands or fingers, they're using adaptive equipment.
Okay. And they could also be helpful for that as well, in terms of you could work off each other. You know, you could also.
And then, yeah, because we can learn from each other. I mean, a lot of people, for example,
Right.
even on my YouTube channel, they're kind of surprised. They're like, wait, you're registered blind and you're soldering these tiny little connectors on this plugs on? How do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And then I show them, and it's like, oh my god, you get so close to that soldering iron and see those little pins.
Well, I suppose if you're in a guild, it's all about helping each other and connecting with each other and
Right.
using each other's abilities to sort of get through doing, which is a good thing. Yeah, it's a very good thing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, like, and also a way for people who are disabled to kind of have a place that they can come to and say, okay, I feel like I'm part of something good where I can talk about my, my multiple sclerosis, my spina bifida, or my hearing loss, or my eyesight loss.
Right.
I still like to play the game. I still enjoy the
But
game.
not in the middle of a boss fight. Hopefully not. I'm kidding.
And a lot of course, seasoned hardcore players are like, they're like military machines. They go in there and they're just focusing on killing Charlie, like nothing else matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's fine. But if you are handicapped, you can't necessarily go as fast. You might, but that doesn't mean you don't enjoy it.
I
In
would
some
say,
ways, it gets
Michelle. I mean,
frustrating when you're
I'm no
trying to
expert.
manipulate the mouse or manipulate the the keyboard, and you're trying to see where you're putting your mouse pointer, and you're like, and then you got the fully sighted people who are kind of getting mad at you, going, "You're slow,"
Yeah,
and then
so
kick
they'll
you out
kick
of
you
the
out of the
dungeon.
dungeon.
Bam!
Yeah,
Like,
I hear you, too. Yeah, yeah. And I'm saying it's an able-bodied person. When
yeah,
I played Warcraft, I used to turn up in the strangest of attire, strangest of gear, and people saying, "Why are you wearing that? Why are you equipped with this?" And it's like, I don't know. And they would just say, "Okay, we're kicking you out," so that's fine. Warcraft was I enjoyed it, but it was not really my bag, if that makes sense.
yeah. Like I said, the other thing is just that also I play Elder Scrolls Online, which I don't like much really at all. But at least I'm not
Yeah, I've heard you mention that
paying a
before.
monthly fee for that. Otherwise, I would have dropped that in a New York second. Because I mean,
Hmm.
seriously, Elder Scrolls Online is like, now you gotta run a mouse and you gotta run the keyboard at the same time to look
Okay.
and walk and try to interact with the audience. That's a lot of mousing around for me.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of impatience coming from the general population, if that makes sense. Which,
Kind of like the song by
yeah,
Alabama. I'm in a
yeah,
hurry to get things done. Rushing to life's no fun. All I do is live and die. I'm in a hurry and I don't know why. Slow down a bit.
no, every time I come home, it's like it's a case of looking at the same news every day, oh, European war is going to break at any time. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, folks. Don't believe it.
I think as far as the Ukraine goes, I think that there's I
I
don't
think
know.
we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine.
I think that deep
He,
down, I think that they need to realize that since Ukraine itself is divided over the issue.
yeah. Yeah, but there's been a child's home, a kindergarten, has been attacked. It's been bombed already today.
Yeah.
So, but that could be by the Western people rather than the Eastern. It's all like joked up on, not joked up on.
Yeah, well, I don't think Putin deep down really wants to go to
Of
war
course
with
not. Of course he
Ukraine. I don't
doesn't.
think he really wants to do that.
The thing is with him, he's a very Christian man, so I don't believe he would do anything like that.
But unfortunately, the problem is that NATO doesn't want Ukraine to go to Russia because of the kind of residuals of the days of the Iron Curtain and all that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, we've had this over here for forever,
yeah.
And it was at a stalemate until a certain year came in, and I don't know. Unfortunately, the more liberal stance people like to think, oh well, we can do this, we can do that, and we can just take over your part. No, they can't do that. Just let Europe be as it is. Let it be split 50-50. And
Right. So the Ukraine had a referendum vote. And
they did, but it wasn't actually that official, to be honest. And I hate saying that, but because I agree with their views. But it wasn't an actual official vote. It was like
I don't think
you're
they wanted
having
to
this
consider
vote.
an official vote because it wasn't the vote that the West wanted to see.
Right, absolutely, yeah, totally agree
But the
with that.
people of
Yeah.
Eastern Ukraine had voted that they wanted to go back with Russia.
And the other side wanted to be stuck with stay in Europe. Yeah.
Right. So why don't they just
Mhm.
do what I would do is say, okay, Eastern Ukraine, you go to Russia. Western Ukraine, you stay with NATO. We split the country in half. And then,
But it's just a case of, again, we're going back, but that's almost going back in time because you're almost splitting Europe again, what we did before back in the 90s and 80s when we had the Iron Curtain.
yeah.
We don't want to go back down that route again, because
Except
it,
don't forget, prior to, if you go back to the time of Stalin, he invaded Ukraine originally. I mean, you don't
he
realize
did,
this,
yeah.
but Stalin
And he
choked
killed a
off
lot of his own.
Ukraine
He
to the
he
point where
killed
it was
a
so bad that people basically were eating their loved ones. They were.
Yep, and he also killed a lot of his own citizens as well.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of them.
Well,
He
Stalin
was a
was an
very,
asshole.
very
We all
bad
know
guy.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very bad man.
But I think the difference is that Vladimir Putin is not wanting to become a Stalin. I think he's saying well, wait a minute. Western Ukraine wants to go NATO. Eastern Ukraine wants to go with us. But we don't want all those missiles of NATO pointed at our jugular. Okay?
And I totally understand that. That's
I
like
agree with
saying
that. I wouldn't
we
want
could
that
have
either.
exactly. It's like having missiles in Canada or something like it down pointing towards you guys. It's the same thing. And I totally get him on that. I
It'd
totally
be
get
like
it.
if the Mexican army decided to have
Mexico's another
missiles
example.
pointed at the
Point,
United States.
Mhm.
And
Which
then,
nearly happened
like
once
city
when we was
already
Cuba.
do. They got the organized drug cartels. They already got the United States in their sight. But the point is that it's the same deal.
Gianni, it's not as feeble as you'd think. You'd be very surprised what really goes on. It's what's portrayed in the news is very unlikely to be portrayed in real life. You'd be very surprised.
Yeah. But we do know that either way, if say for example, let's say Mexico was not willing to work with the United States. Let's say Mexico was like hostile to the United States. And just playing with, let's pretend, guys. Do not take it literally. Oh, right. Okay, because you know that the drug cartels do have their own vested interest in the United States. So, and we know that the drug cartels pretty much get a lot of clout in Mexico. The fact of the matter is, now let's imagine, if you will, if the Mexican government started aiming ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, at the United States with nuclear warheads. Now, all of a sudden, the United States is between a rock and a hard place. Because, in one sense, they don't want to escalate things with Mexico, for example. But, at the same time, Mexico is allowing these illegals to come rushing across our border and infiltrating our country. That's really what is happening.
Yeah, but I remember once upon a time, Michelle, I remember telling you, at least Mexicans are Catholic. They don't have that mindset. They don't have that mindset of I hate to say it, I've said it before, you can bleep this out if you want. It's not like Iran or people that are from Afghanistan. They have a different mindset, and they are influenced by, unfortunately, destabilization.
What's happening with the United States is similar to what's happening in Calais in France with the UK. Okay, it's very similar. All of a sudden, they see, oh, yeah, gee, the UK looks so good. Like it's good green fields and everything's nice. Oh, let's go rush into the UK, find jobs because we're desperate for work. Only thing is, the people in the UK and just like the United States are saying, excuse me, we don't have jobs for you guys. We're already up to the next to our own problems. We're already next to our own problems. We can't help you.
There's nothing racist about me, Gianni. That's one thing I'm gonna say. Yes, I made a mistake and on a bad night a few months ago, and said silly things. We all do that now and again.
Yeah.
But that's for sure. One thing I'm not is racist.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the point is that I think, but as far as I don't know,
it's called religion. There's a big difference between religion and racism. I don't
exactly think the UK government is exactly going out there and saying, "Come on over, the water's fine." I don't think they're saying that. I think they're saying is, guys, stay in Calais. Don't come here. We are not ready for you. We cannot help. We cannot help you. We cannot clothe you. We cannot feed you. We do have enough problems. The United States is a bipolar mess. They can't seem to make up their mind what they want.
Michelle, I'd like to point out one thing. There's a difference between where you're from and what your religion is. Now, my problem is against religion, not race. And I've said this to you guys a million times. Yeah, you are confusing the two.
Yeah. Ethnic faith systems. I see your point. But the point what it is here is true, is that the United States government, there's two major parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. And the Democrats are really former Democrat socialists. They are pushing a certain agenda that many Republicans are just going, this is totally not what this country is. And it's weird because the Democrat socialists go out there saying, oh, we got to give all these migrants help. We're going to give them free food, free shelter, free money for cars, free. Oh, but what about your own people? No, they can starve. Wait, what? What do you mean they can starve? There are poor people that were born here, and you're telling us that basically that we can't get the help we need. I don't get it. But you're willing to help, somebody from another country come in here, rush the border of the United States, stay here through some kind of Dreamers program, which usually affects kids and families. And yet, What about the American people that were born here that still would like to be able to achieve the same thing of having a future and on disability? They're not getting that. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the world is bipolar. You get hot and cold areas, the whole entire world is bipolar, and no one sees that. Is inside invasion job by the U.S. government. Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree with that. The thing is that though we can't even treat our own people properly. I don't like that at all. That the American people that were born and raised in this country that need help, the government slaps us in the face and says, "Sorry, you're not eligible. Move on." What? Born here. Don't matter. Go elsewhere. Where do I go? Go jump into another country. Which one? Canada don't want us either.
Yeah, sorry about that. Back again. Another parcel from my neighbour. Honestly, it's like she's at college, right? I was at work for the first time in weeks after the operation, and she sends me a message saying, "Oh, I've got like 3 parcels coming for her and her boyfriend. Seeing as you've been off for a few weeks, can you take them in?" I says, "Well, I can't because I was at work this morning."
3
So
parcels? I mean, how many?
yeah, it's like I don't know how she can afford so much because she doesn't work, she doesn't do anything, and but she orders everything so many times in the last few weeks since I've been off. It's like
Oh, if it's only 3 parcels, that's not a big deal. But if it's like,
yeah, it's not a big deal, but it's the fact that they just leave them on the front
it's just
door.
like
And
me,
then
you enjoy your sleep time, and you're not going to be very enthusiastic about having to keep waking up when the postman rings your doorbell, or
yeah, especially not when you're
you're tired. Your body's like, I need my time, because I know this from both Aquarius and Virgo. This is true for both. They need the spiritual me time. Both are pretty much are introverted. They're not necessarily the kind of people that like to get up and go. We like a good time, quiet time, think time. But if you push too much on us, we get crabby.
Yeah, I got plenty of me time last night. I just I was in my bed very early because I knew I had to be up early this morning, and which was fine, but it felt strange just like being back, after like a little while off, and but I'll be fine because I'm getting the proper, as I said earlier on, I'm getting the stitches out tomorrow morning at the doctor's. And I'm not looking forward to that because my friend was saying to me, he was saying, well, what's going to happen is you're not going to get any anaesthetic for those stitches coming out. And there's quite a few, so he's going to pull them out,
So I got a doctor's appointment on Monday for a regular follow-up on my blood work.
Okay.
The one thing I dread is getting on the scale.
The scale?
Yeah. Let's see how much you weigh this time. Oh, God, please.
No, that's nothing too serious.
I've been trying so hard.
To
keep the weight back down to where normal is for me, about 265. And, it's I was 30 pounds overweight because it was the first time in 2 years I actually physically got into the scale at the doctor's office. And it was like, but my doctor's sitting there going tisk, 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 pointing out my weight issue. Is like, I don't need you to tell me with the obvious, doctor. I already know. I had not been physically doing much for 2 years because of my knee injury. My hip hurts, and then I don't want to go out anywhere. I just sit at home. And sometimes I just sit there and eat cheese and chocolate. I was going
to ask you that, Michelle. Have they done cholesterol tests on you or anything like that?
Yeah, they
'cause,
do. That's
usually
part of the
okay,
blood work I do.
okay.
I have very good LDL, which is the bad cholesterol,
Yeah.
and very bad HDL, which is the good cholesterol. The good cholesterol is only like 25 milligrams per deciliter, and it's like, she's like 30, I think it was like 33, 34 last time I checked it. I was like, and he said, once you get to 25, you're asking for a heart attack.
Oh,
Triglycerides are a
wow.
bit high. Yeah, I know that. I'm trying to change my viewpoint. I'm trying. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy, and but do you know what helps that? I would say what would give it a start. Um, just maybe some light exercise, maybe some walking, and maybe some. I don't know. It
No,
depends on what you
Red,
eat,
it is
Michelle. I
not
don't know.
Ed's fault. It is not Ed's fault. Okay? It's not
Yeah,
Ed's
exactly.
fault. Ed was not
Gianni had just
here
said
for 2
something.
years.
Gianni
Okay?
just said it's tough to eat. It's tough to eat healthy on a small budget.
Absolutely.
That's not true. Actually, that's not. No, I don't believe that's true at all. I'll tell you why it's not true. You have to shop around. You have to shop around. You'd be very surprised.
Well, I think the other thing too is I felt pretty lousy emotionally because of the situation with the pandemic. On top of that, that
Right,
here I was
like a billion
hoping
other people.
to
Yeah,
get my life back together, go back to the soup kitchen, then the pandemic shows up, and all of a sudden that avenue is gone. And then, of course, for 2 years, for the first year, especially, it was excruciatingly painful walking. I mean, I
of
was,
course. You hurt your knee and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and my hip. I have a problem in my hip too, which is from before that. So the thing is that, so I'm walking around now. I'm doing better, but it doesn't mean I'm exactly running out of my way to start
Right.
doing jumping jacks and sprints and things like that. But
No, nobody's expecting you to do that straight away, type of thing. You don't need to do that.
right.
You can all honestly just shop around, depending on how
Well, there's not really much to do
many.
in Winston anyway. I mean, unless you want
That's
to.
what I was gonna say.
Winston's
Yeah.
mostly restaurants, and that's about it. Restaurants and a few small stores, and that's all you do in Winston. It's just shop.
Yeah, but Michelle, you can always. I know nobody likes salad. Not many people like salad. But you can have maybe 3 salads in 1 week and maybe or
Yeah.
4 salads in 1 week, and the rest of the time you might have a treat. I say a treat, but when I mean a treat, I mean something like a burger or something like that.
Well, one
And
thing,
then
one
it's
one
balanced.
thing
It's
that was
always got to be balanced.
suggested by a channel on YouTube that's based on medical fact, weight loss. He said you need is good for you anyway. Is you gotta walk.
Mhm.
Do
Yeah, it
walking
definitely
every
helps,
day.
Michelle. It's
Because if you
exercise.
do that,
Any
you're going
form
to
of
start
movement
the
is exercise.
process of trimming up your muscles, and you're going to feel better emotionally. You're going to de-stress. You're not going to feel
Right.
like the world is crushing in on you, which is exactly what I felt like during the pandemic.
See, Michelle, what I've done in the past, and I still do, obviously not lately, but in what I would do again, especially now the spring months are close, even though it's going to be freezing this weekend. But once the spring months really kick in, what I tend to do is I will end up walking to work. I'll end up walking to work, and it could be a mile.
Yeah.
And that's not far. And you can take it at your own pace as long as you make sure you get out at the right time.
Exactly.
And,
That's one of the reasons I want to
yeah.
do this summer. Today is a good day. I don't usually go to McDonald's on a regular basis, but I might go today just because, it'd be nice to walk down, take my phone with me, do some video, McDonald's. People like them in McDonald's. I find that the Android phone actually works better for video than the iPhone, which is no surprise because the iPhone, as nice as it is, There's a few features in my iPhone that absolutely is a crutch. That's just a technology thing. But the view, I could always bring my laptop with me, throw it in the bag, put it on the little shelf of my walker, and
Okay.
set my camera up on the at the soup kitchen, do a video using my. Yeah, you know what? That's an idea. Though I just said something very useful, which is that I mentioned the camera. I know my computer doesn't record super high quality video because it's an older machine. That's not the point. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I switch over to the camera here, either if I can use the built-in camera, of course, or I can use this camera over here, and I can take that with me, and then I can point it at me in a better position.
Stan was saying, Michelle, the single cheapest and best thing you can do for your health is to drink at least 2 liters of bottled spring water every day. And
Well, I drink
he's
Winston's
right.
tap
He's right
water,
about that.
which is usually fine. Which, I mean, maybe Winston's tap water is not the best, but hey,
Yeah, I try not to touch tap water nowadays.
it comes out of my tap, so I can't really complain. You know, it's not the worst tap water in the world. It's not Flint, Michigan's tap water.
Right.
So it's not super chlorinated. It's chlorinated, but it's not too bad. The single cheapest and best thing you can do for your teeth is to drink at least 2-liter bottle of spring water every day.
I was just saying that,
For
Michelle.
your teeth, for your health, not your teeth, but your health. Okay, yeah, agree. But except the only thing with bottled water is that what are you gonna do with all the plastic containers?
But it's not just about losing weight; it's just about maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
I drink enough tea and Winston's tap water a day. I drink here. This is a 16 fluid ounce cup. Okay. So I don't know how much water that is in liters, but think of liters a little more than 33.6. Okay, somebody wants to come on the other panel. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, panel. I gotta get to that panel.
It's all about moderation, Michelle. You know, it's all about moderation.
How you doing, Leo?
We've told this for
morning, guys.
For decades.
Yeah.
Hey, Leo, how you doing?
Hey, Andrew, where you been?
Just
working or
relaxing. Well, today I have
that's
been,
right.
but,
You're not back to
I've
work yet,
relaxed
are you?
beforehand. Yeah, I am now, but
Oh, you are.
I guess I'm getting my stitches out tomorrow, so I can't wait because I feel like I'm some sort of Cenobite from the Hellraiser series, you know.
Ow. Well, now, Andrew, I know you said you had a cyst on your spine. Where was the cyst at?
It was on the left-hand side of my bottom spine, the bottom end of my spine, and it was very
was it
close
attached
to the spine.
Was it attached to like the actual spinal cord, or?
Well, I didn't know that, but I feel that it was becoming to be a case that was affecting my movement. I think I've mentioned this before in previous.
Ooh, how big was it?
Yeah. I don't know.
They didn't tell you?
To me, it felt very big because originally when I first felt it, I was at my work one night, and I thought, "What the heck's this?" You know, and I thought nothing of it, and I tried to think nothing of it. Then I was on to Google during my work. I was like on the keyboard, and everything was coming up. It's like cancer of the spine, cancer of this, cancer of that.
Oh no.
But you know what Google's like, you know.
Yeah, never Google your symptoms. They'll freak you out.
I know.
But you know, Stan, there's one thing about you cannot say about ferric oxide in water that's necessarily bad. It's good for your hemoglobin. So, it gives you iron for blood, which is good.
But Leo, I am okay. I'm fine. I'm definitely.
I have very high iron content in my blood, so. Alright, so everyone's come on the other panel.
But I'm getting stitches out tomorrow, Leo, so hopefully that's going to make the discomfort go, you know.
How many stitches did you get?
I have no idea. They just told me to stitch me up. And
you don't know?
No, I was just wanting them to get rid of this thing, you know?
What the hell, Delaney?
How you doing?
No, what's going on, Michelle? I was out, getting some stuff done, and you got the number on the screen. They called in like 3 times. You never picked up. The fuck?
What's
Hello,
that?
Paul. How you doing?
Good day.
I
You got the number on the
Paul.
screen.
I went to
Are we
the soup
taking calls?
kitchen yesterday.
Michelle, are we taking calls or what? You got the phone on the screen, but you're not picking up.
Oh, I
Yeah,
Has
got the
anyone
number
told
up.
her?
I forgot to turn that off. Oops,
Turn the
sorry.
phones on. Get
That was
those
from
phones
last
on.
night. All right, so turn that off.
No, turn the phones on.
No, I wouldn't mind taking phone calls, but who's
All
gonna
right,
call
let's take them.
us
Let's take some.
anyway?
Just
I
said you wouldn't
didn't
mind.
I'm sorry, I've had to turn that off.
So I'm thinking, Leo, once I get these stitches out, I don't know what I'm going to do after they came out. I'm probably going to be acting like a big baby as usual, but
Well, you should be all healed up then, right?
I'm hoping that is the case, yeah. But I think I am. They're more
You
itchy
men are
than anything else.
babies.
Okay,
You guys
yeah,
are
we've heard that
babies.
before.
I had 50
Man
some
flu and
staples
all
in
that.
back.
Is that?
Well, all I know is that I can see. I think there's some sun starting to poke through the clouds. I'm gonna maybe go to I went to the soup kitchen yesterday without a problem, but I might go to McDonald's today and just get a soda and just chill and maybe do a video.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, you're gonna get 2
Who
double
all believes Michelle's
cheeseburgers,
just gonna get a soda?
2 double cheeseburgers, and a vanilla shake to go with those 4 sodas you're gonna have, Michelle. You get the same thing every time. You can go to Cumberland Farms and get a soda, Michelle. You don't need to go all the way to McDonald's. But we know you're. We know
Well, yeah, like I said, the
Yeah.
weather's good enough. We could actually stream from the other Cumberland farms on the porch.
Yeah.
You know
I
what's
suppose
better
if
than a
Michelle,
soda,
okay,
Michelle, is get some
Leo
water.
and Paul, I suppose it's different if Michelle's going to McDonald's every day. That would be a different kettle of fish, wouldn't it?
Hmm. Yeah,
She's still going there.
Yeah, McDonald's is loaded with salt. That's not what she needs. We're
Yeah,
trying to curve her away
do.
from that.
They do load their things with salt, that's for sure.
Well, I actually haven't gone to McDonald's except very briefly with Chris to get some coffees this week. We didn't even go
I'm
get any
teasing you,
lunch or
Michelle.
anything.
You do what you want. That's what life's all about, right? Keeping yourself happy. You want McDonald's, you get McDonald's.
Well, like one person said to me, you gotta wiggle more. You gotta jiggle more. You gotta get doing something. And if it's just walking to McDonald's, put my laptop on my walker and just take the laptop with me. Because one thing, the laptop would be good for streaming. Anyway, I wasn't gonna stream. I was just gonna do a video. Hell, I don't even need to bring the other camera with me for that. I'll just bring my my SM57 microphone with me and the interface, or I can use this lapel microphone with me too. Plugs into the laptop to the same interface. So, I figure it'd be better than nothing at all.
Yeah. Why stream or do a video? What would be the point? I mean, what's the point of the video?
I don't know. Just sometimes there are things I want to talk about in the video, but I don't really know if I can really talk about in the live stream because I seem to have a chance to focus on the topic. And one of the concerns that I've been noticing is the fact is that, like we were saying earlier, is that the American government doesn't really give a damn about its own people, which kind of really bothers me a lot. Because especially in the East and West Coasts, housing has gotten so expensive. Inflation, they say, is going to be in the 10% range by July. I don't know when the government is going to get out of its delusions of saying, oh, people on Social Security disability should be able to afford an apartment. No, most of my friends can't. And I don't understand the logic behind when they say, well, you're getting $857 a month, you should be able to buy an apartment for $800. Yeah, right. I mean, maybe in the middle of the country, but not not East and West Coast. No, definitely not. Me and Ed were talking about that this morning. It was like, well, I said, Ed, the or cheaper apartments if you go into the middle of the country. He said, yeah, but I don't know anybody in the middle of the country. I said, neither do I. But at least if you wanted to seriously do. And then he said, but I need a car. I said, yeah, you need a car. You're right. You do. You need to save some money. You have to work on the budget. And you got to work on a budget you can live with. Because you're hoping to work with this guy and that guy, and they're not sure if they're going to come up here or if they're going to stay in Florida, and yet you're basically you're not achieving anything. You're just vibrating back and forth, and you're not. I mean, almost like one of those electric football games, with a little buzzer motor underneath the table. That's what you're doing. You're just buzzing along. Buzz. But the point of the matter is you're buzzing along in the game, but you're not actually got actual focus. It's just buzzing along.
Someone have the stream on in the background or something? There's like an echo.
Yeah, it's not me, Paul. I don't know what that's going on there.
It's not me.
Oh, okay. Must be me then. Yeah.
So, either way, so I said that, realistically, you need to put some money aside. If you're going to get a car, you need to start focusing on your goal. If you want to go to wherever you're going to go, you need money. You can't just run out the door and go, without a plan. It's like
Red,
Krista
once I hear the bees going, that's when I know the winter is finally over.
I hear the bees going. Okay, well, I can't really hear the bees.
I love that sound. I love the bees flowing about me. And
I can hear the little. When I start seeing the black flies come around, I know definitely no winter's over.
Having said that, though, when sometimes even in March and April it can still go to minus 20 degrees, and then the bees they come out sort of prematurely,
they're gonna look for
and then
pollen
suddenly
from.
you get this blast of Arctic air, and it's like, okay, they're dead again. But one thing, the yellow jackets, they never seem to be affected by anything like that. Those bastards.
Yeah, well, yellow jackets are just a form of a hornet. They're actually aren't the yellow jackets actually a form of a wasp? I think they're a wasp.
Yeah, they're all wasps. Yeah, those are wasps.
Yeah,
I mean,
but either way,
they're
they
wasps,
are.
Yellow.
That happens to be my high school's mascot was the yellow jacket.
Okay.
And so it was kind of funny when you think about it. The Gilbert Yellow Jackets was our school mascot. So, and I have a lot of respect for the real yellow jackets out there because they're aggressive little buggers too.
What are we having? Coleslaw? Oh, okay, hot dogs, beans, and coleslaw. Thank you. Sounds good. Hot dogs, beans, and coleslaw, Michelle. I'm making an Ed meal. Hot dogs,
no.
Yeah.
I'm not eating that. I can't eat coleslaw anyway, and I can't stand beans. So all I would have gotten out of the deal was a hot dog.
Stan was saying if Andrew and Paul came out to Robin Hood Fair,
for that kind of lunch, McDonald's trip actually sounds more lucrative, I think. I might just get a plain double cheeseburger and I said I didn't say 2, and then just get a soda or something like that.
We know how you roll, though, Michelle. We know how you roll. You like your 2 double cheeseburgers plain, 5 sodas, and your vanilla shake.
I don't drink 5 sodas.
You get the same thing every time. It's all good, though.
You're
Michelle,
right.
You know?
My lunch is the same, isn't it, most of the time? Right. Variations of it, very slight variations. That's true. That is pretty much it. I mean, 2 plain double cheeseburgers, 1 large French fry.
Oh, you got
a medium Diet Coke, and then 1 refill, and then of course sometimes I'll get the shake, sometimes I don't. But given the prices of McDonald's has gone up so much. I don't know if I can afford to do that on a regular basis.
No, McDonald's hasn't gone up at all. What do you mean? You act like they're charging you $10 for a soda. Everything's the same. Their prices haven't changed. What do you mean?
Oh
the
no,
price
they
of
went up.
McDonald's
My
has gone
area,
up?
they went up. I'm sorry.
Like how much?
Maybe
How
about
much are you paying for
maybe
your
about
meal
$3 to
now?
$5.
You paying $5 for your meal?
Originally, my meal was the 666 meal. Okay,
Right.
and that would be the
Now
two
you
plain
pay-
double cheeseburgers, large French fry, and medium soda. Not
Right.
same
Michelle,
lunch now. That same lunch
Pay
now.
attention to the chat.
The same lunch now
Yes.
costs $12.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle, look at the chat. You got people asking you questions in the
Okay,
chat.
I'm going. Follow definitely on ears. The question is, MicheleMarieDalene, if Andrew and Paul came to Robin Hood Fair, what sort of characters would they be? I don't know.
What would we be, Michelle?
Would you want to go to the Renaissance Fair, Paul? I mean, and Andrew, if you were coming up here around that time, would you like to go to?
Probably be. I don't know. I think we'd probably be somebody that would be trying to do our best to ignore each other.
Maybe some
Whatever
knights.
costume that took.
You could dress up like some knights or something, or maybe a jester.
A tinkerer?
Yeah, it depends on who's wearing the jester costume. You know?
Yeah, and who's got rotten fruit?
I think Andrew. Andrew, are you into engineering by any chance?
I don't know what I would be.
I would never have thought of a question like that either.
I mean-
so, I don't know.
I mean, you're the kind of person that likes to take materials and make things like a maker.
Not. Well, I don't think I would, but I would just if that was the case, I wouldn't make an issue of it. I would just do what I want to do. I'm sure Paul would do the same.
Yep.
Because I mean, like in real world, I'm a maker. I'm a tinkerer. I tinker with stuff all the time. So if it was a Renaissance fair, well, think about what I would be tinkering with. Maybe making musical instruments, or building little shelves, or like my dad does. Before he died. That was what I was raised in, an environment with woodworking, cabinet making, and stuff like that. So for me, it's actually would be a part of my life, So let's see.
I don't even know what a Renaissance fair is, to be honest. If I'm really honest with you guys, I'm just going along with it.
Renaissance fair is like where it's like a fair where you go back and like people pretend to be in medieval times.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a medieval fair.
I've never thought about it before, so I can't. Really
Actually,
answer
it's
that
based in the
straight
more
off the
exciting
bat,
reality of the medieval life. If you dealt with the everyday drudgery of
Yeah,
medieval life,
yeah.
it would probably not be such an exciting thing. Like for example, being an innkeeper, or being a
Innkeeper.
housewife, or being a
As long as
farmer.
it makes money, I'd be happy with it.
I'd be a bear wench. I think they'd have the most fun.
Yeah, but that's easy for you to say, Leo.
I would be
because-
the guy who harasses the beer wench. Give me another beer! More ale! More ale in my goblet.
There's a difference between dried beans, i.e., like black beans and lima beans,
This is sounding more
versus
like
baked
Skyrim every
beans,
How'd you
time.
get
which
on
are kidney beans in a
Mhm.
sauce, usually ketchup, which is disgusting. I'm sorry, there's a big difference. Okay.
Talking
It's
about
basically
Michelle,
old
baked
and
beans are
looking-
not in ketchup. What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know.
Who
Yeah,
puts
I
ketchup on
like
beans?
beans. I'm not a big bean eater, but like baked beans with
ketchup
like a
on baked
barbecue
beans?
are pretty good.
Yeah.
What kind of beans, Leo? What's your favorite
Like
beans?
just the
or
baked
do you-
beans, but I like chili
Yeah,
beans.
yeah.
I like beans and soups and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do
so
too.
does, yeah. Mhm.
I like Percocets.
I didn't know what that is.
Is that what they
Well-
call Percocet beans?
That's
And of
what,
course-
Oh, okay.
that's what they do. You got
Painkiller
it.
beans. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yep.
Also,
Call 'em the
another
beans.
thing that's exciting about, and similar to the Renaissance Fair, is something called Society for Creative Anachronism, which is is another interesting idea of people still do something similar to craft things, like they make chainmail and things like that, armor, swords.
Yeah, I've seen that
Good
before.
job, bud. Got 2 tabs. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we could go to like we get some rotten tomatoes and throw them at the people in the stockades and stuff. Renaissance fair.
Do they have those there?
They
Do they have
should.
people? I know. I did
I
see
don't
some
know.
pictures in them.
No,
Well,
Leo.
it's
I just think-
2022. People are pussies and politically correct, so probably
Yeah,
not.
he's got a point. He is got a
It
point.
wouldn't be
Once I
Yeah.
came with it, he is right. He's
Well, I
right.
don't know. I
He's
think you'd be able to
humanitarian.
take pictures. I've seen people do that.
Yeah, people used to take pictures on their phones and stuff.
Yeah.
but
No, but I
they'd be
mean
the
when
most,
people are in the
softest
stockades and
tomatoes in
stuff.
the world. They'd be the most politically correct tomatoes in the world. They'd be soft as heck.
I think it'd be
and
absolutely
covered in
fun to see
marshmallow or
it. I
something.
agree with that. The Harwinton Fairgrounds sounds like it'd be a fun place to go. You know, see jousting, swordplay, archery.
I don't think you'd have a jousting nowadays. I think that'd be a little bit too dangerous, you know.
What's that?
Jousting. Yeah,
What?
jousting.
Jousting is like when
Yeah.
one person starts at one end and the other, and they run towards each other with a sharp pole and try and
You
knock
hope
each
for the
other
Yeah, I know what
best.
off.
jousting is. But you know, I think they do mock ones though. They have probably foam.
Yeah.
What do they call those? They're not spears. I forget what they're called.
But you're still probably riding on a real horse, and you probably could still be knocked off the horse. So yeah, there could still be injuries. But you
No,
know,
that's not fair, though.
live
It's
action
pretty good
role
fun.
play is kind of
Yeah,
similar.
but Michelle,
If you
they'd
think
probably
look at
all padded
LARP,
up. They'd have so much padding that nothing would probably happen to them, even if they were knocked off their horse. So, I think the little pools that have the problem would be the horses, you know, or little animals, I should say.
I just saying is I would like to go to that. Yes, I do like
I
that.
would love to go to one of those.
And I'm interested in writing and stuff too. So yeah, I mean, the writing, music, that does interest me. The technology, that's a tinkerer in me. Like, for example, how do certain musical instruments work? For example, like early instruments used to use catgut for the strings. I didn't use steel strings. Steel strings came a lot later, but
They used cat guts.
it's actually made
Inside
out
of
of
a-
sheep, but sheep
gut.
intestines.
Mm.
Yep, they use a
They
lot
use
of animal
cheap
guts
intestines for strings
these days.
on instruments.
If you're a shepherd anyway, and you're slaughtering lambs and sheep for meat, so obviously, what do you do with the intestines? Well,
Exactly.
you
the
can
rest of
turn
the
them
part.
into musical
Yeah,
string
yeah.
instrument strings.
They're that
But it's
strong?
called catgut. I don't know why they call it catgut. It's not made out of cat's guts. It's made out of sheep guts. Okay, but the point is, that was a way that we used to have musical strings for instruments before we used steel
Ew.
strings.
Kind of gross.
So the music, the woodwinds existed. The recorders existed. Sometimes people call it a flute, but there's a difference between a There's a difference between a recorder and a flute and the way it's played. Okay.
Gianni, it wasn't quite it's not just as simple as an old looking carnival. These things were actually real, you know, things that happened, and they were meant for terms of hierarchy and who is better than whom type of thing. You know, it wasn't really a carnival, to be honest with you.
No, but I think he's equating the new one, the mock
right,
ones
okay,
these
I'm
days, to like a
sorry,
carnival. Yeah.
Maybe you want
Yeah.
No,
me
I'm
to
pretty
equate
sure.
it to like a Renaissance fair is like I said, like the Society for Creative Anachronism kind of thing, where you are, you know, watching
Michelle's
and
confusing me.
participating
I have no
in
idea
an
what the fuck you're
activity
talking about
that's
either, Andrew. It's fine.
very
Yeah.
different. You know, it's not like, I mean, like let's say, I guess the closest example I can think about that would somewhat be similar to a Renaissance fair is in World of Warcraft the Dark Moon Fair. The original Dark Moon Fair in World of Warcraft Classic. Where you win prizes for doing things like knocking down bottles and things like that, or maybe guessing people's weight, or um, or people would like see who has the biggest pig. That's kind of thing, kind of like the fair, kind of like a country fair kind of thing. It's very different than modern fare, where you're riding the octopus or the spider, or running on the little roller coasters,
Right.
or the scramblers or whatever. It's different.
See, Michelle, we used to have a thing here called the Harvest Festival, and it is still a thing, but it's so dumbed down, it's ridiculous. And back in, even, I'm only going back, say, 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago. In fact, probably more than that, we've been more.
Yeah, we have
obvious.
an apple harvest festival in New England, Connecticut, called the Glastonbury Apple Harvest Festival.
Right. And what would they would do? They would literally take their animals in. They would take their dogs in. They would take
Are they
anything in.
gypsies, Johnny?
I
And
don't know.
what they would
Johnny
do.
says that there are gypsies that work there.
I don't really know. The Apple Harvest Festival really didn't seem like a big deal to me. I mean, it's like the idea is you could try out things made out of apples, like foods and things. That was pretty much what it was.
Yeah. They were measuring fruits between other stalls and who had the best best bunch of broccoli or cabbages and stuff like that. And even that was going on, not even that as long ago as you would think, But now everything is just so, oh, you can't do things like that. It's so old fashioned. But that's what we need in life, We need, people to do sort of these things, because it's people doing things for themselves, and yet at the end of the day, they're also interacting with other people at the same time. They're not just hiding it away and saying,
Right.
"Oh, I've got this," and just posting it online. It's nice to have interaction again. That's what people should be doing. It's just my opinion. If people don't like it, fine.
Yeah, I agree with the fact is that the festivals, the Apple Harvest Festival is very popular. I know that we also have other ones in Connecticut. Of course, we have all the agricultural fairs here too. I like the agricultural fairs. They're okay. I've been to a few, but that's not really my thing. But the Renaissance Fair is definitely more what I'm interested in. Getting a chance to see the actual, as best they could make it look like life was back in the time of the medieval period, which is from 500 AD to about 1500 AD.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's just a huge time period when you think about it. And during that time, the Catholic Church in Europe was pretty much the church in Europe. The Roman Catholic Church had a big impact in a lot of the lives of everyday citizens in the towns. The church bell was the way of keeping time for most people. At the same time, the monks were also the teachers. So it's not surprising when you think about parochial schools. It was the first form of schooling that many people actually learned. Is if the sons would go to to monasteries to learn, and some would also eventually become priests themselves, but not everybody did. It's just a very interesting situation to look back at today and go, oh, this is so quaint. Well, there's something about the reality, too, about the real medieval ages, which unfortunately is not so quaint. The fact of the matter is the cities were cesspit. I mean, there was sanitation wasn't exactly modern, if you got my drift. And some people, really drinking the water in the cities really was not safe to drink. That's why they drink a lot of alcohol, because the alcohol had made the water safer to drink, because you were using alcohol was actually killing the germs in the water, especially making ales. Um, so it was not uncommon, for example, in the city for people to drink a lot of drink a lot of locally produced ales. So for someone like Ed, that would be probably the biggest part of his day. Hey, I'll have
Yeah,
some more of the gold cherry ale, please.
Michelle, maybe Ed will live to like 110 years old or something because of his his actions.
No, you never know. I mean, the problem is Ed's also got other problems too in his life, which is.
Yeah, of course, destroying his kidneys and things like that.
Well, I mean, his problem is that he's not keeping himself up. Oh, let's see, Noodles, the Bounty Hunter. Which panel are we on? We're on the public one. Okay. Noodles is on. Wants to join the public panel. So, go ahead, Noodles.
Oh.
Hello?
How you doing?
Go and turn down, darling. Go and turn
Hey,
down.
Michelle, what's up?
How's it going?
Terrible. How you doing, Michelle?
Doing all right.
Hey, Noodles.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Hey.
You see the Intrepid out there? The aircraft carrier, Michelle?
Yeah. I see the aircraft carrier, yeah.
Yeah.
Behind you, yeah. See in there
It's
the
such a beautiful day out, Michelle. Michelle, it's like 60 degrees out today.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be walking over to
It's like
McDonald's.
it's 26 degrees here.
Yeah, it's cold in Scotland right now. Yeah, I know, it's nice outside. I'm gonna be going over to the soup kitchen. I'm gonna be next to the soup kitchen. I'm not in hot dogs and beans. Ugh. And I will go over to McDonald's. I'm gonna do a video over there. I'm taking my laptop with me, because then I can edit the video afterwards. Good luck. Yeah, I can see why you would want to do the video over there at McDonald's. That would be fun. After all, you got a laptop for doing just that. It's true.
Michelle, do you have any sexual desires?
What?
Tell him to shut up.
Do you
Michelle.
have any sexual desires?
Do I have any sexual desires? For what?
Like, what are your sexual desires, Michelle?
I don't really have very many sexual desires. I'm not actively sexually.
Oh. Well, I mean, you watch pornography,
Are you
right?
looking to fulfill them, Noodles, for her?
Yes. I've been sitting on you for the past 2 weeks.
Leo, don't encourage it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to help my friend out here. Shush, Andrew.
I'm sorry.
Let's see some of the things at the fair. Okay, so here's an example of a link of what's at the fair, guys. Let's take a look at this. I'll put this on the panel. You might hear my panel turn the scrambled eggs and ham, but just give me a second while I jumping up to the link here. Let me get this on scene 3, scene 2. No, scene 2, not scene 3. Scene 3 is being used for something else. All right. So let's pull this up here. This is for the Renaissance Fair. Okay, there we go. Hit Ock. Switch it in. We have shows and entertainment. We have final weekend only. The sounds of ancient thundering war drums and skewering the
cool.
dual bagpipe like you never heard before. This is too old school heavy metal music. Viking, pagan, Celt, raider, lover, fighter, like a boot to the head. Thunderous crack.
Wait, bagpipe? Bagpipe is Scottish. Why is it at a medieval fair?
Aye, but the Scottish are also just as much a part of the medieval as anybody else is.
Yeah, I was
Are
gonna
they?
say it's pretty old.
Clan
It's like
Tinker.
Well, yeah, I
800s
know,
or
but I
something.
didn't think they would. No, never mind.
Clan
I've never
Tinker
been to one, so it
is
just
a
surprised
troop of
me.
brothers and sisters that
It's
perform a
okay.
stunning
For
array of
nerds,
talents
Leo.
in
It's for nerds.
fanciful
I was
vaudeville
supposed
style
to Google him
circus.
myself, but I was thinking, no, I know this one.
Noodle said they're nerds. Are you talking about the Scottish people, or are you talking about the medieval fair
No,
people?
the medieval stuff. That's for nerds.
Oh,
Oh, come on, Noodles.
Michelle, let me ask you a
I'm a
question. Michelle.
nerd.
If I
I've
put on
never
one of
been
those,
there.
if I put on one of those insurrection helmets, like the January 6th insurrection helmet, and I put war paint all over my face.
Luku, the mad scout.
Yeah.
That's
Would you?
was a performer also. The Jackdaws.
Yeah, but Michelle, would you below me at the Renaissance Fair if that was
Oh
the case?
my God!
If I was,
Erica the harpist.
Oh,
You'd have to
there's
slap
there's
some Marmite
thing,
on there,
Michelle.
Noodles.
You can't resist that.
Well, I gotta admit
experience.
this stuff looks
Said no,
interesting.
never.
Let me see our site map. I want to see the site map here. Okay. Well, that's the site map.
You've never been to one either, Michelle?
No, I never been to this. Definitely would
Leo, I
be
remember you
different.
saying something about a fair.
Activities
I
more
don't
to
know if it was about.
do. You got the maze. Take a stroll through the maze. You hunt for lost treasure. Archery.
Yeah, we have all sorts of fairs here. We've had medieval fairs
This is
I'd
where.
love to
here,
see
but I
that.
just never been to one.
The thing is, Leo, right? We live in
Oh,
this country.
I
and
definitely would
I've never seen one of those.
definitely-
Hold on,
things.
Andrew. Andrew, I can't hear you.
I definitely would like to do the archery one. Knighting ceremony. Check your schedule to make sure you don't miss out on the knighting ceremony. Brave young squires and ladies can appear before Queen Eleanor or one of her knights to be elevated to knighthood. Applicants must be brave, honest, chivalrous, and noble of deed. Oh, how do you apply for that?
What were you gonna say now, Andrew?
Yeah, Leo.
Night school, children of all ages will enjoy learning what life is
I'll
like
get there
with knights
eventually.
and squires. Think you can fight a fight
You have to
for the
talk louder.
princess?
She's screaming.
I'll try. I know.
Oh, this looks like fun. Yeah, it does. Like especially this one, fight the knight. Fight.
Yeah,
All right,
Leo.
hold on, Michelle. Hold on, Michelle. Let Andrew say something.
Dagger toss.
Leo, thank you.
That
Yeah,
sounds
Leo, I'm
interesting.
saying we've.
That's like a variation
hopefully-
of knife throwing. Test the strength.
Sorry. I told it in, but it was hard.
Tomato
But anyway.
torrent. Oh, okay. That's the you were saying about the stocks and throwing rotten tomatoes.
Oh, I'm crying. Stop it.
Jacob's ladder. Say navigate text. Watch how it's done. Come up with
That's
your
it. I'm tired of Michelle interrupting everyone.
escape room. That sounds interesting. There's definitely some things here that do get my attention. I don't know about hurling axes though, but I definitely would try the archery one, and I definitely would like to find out about the knighting.
Try them all,
ceremony.
Michelle. Try them all. Right.
Anyway,
Leo.
still sounds like fun anyway, though. You know.
All right,
Yeah,
go ahead,
it's a lot
Andrew.
of
Hurry up.
I'm trying.
Considering one of my characters is a hunter, but I'll be honest.
I can't remember what I was going to ask you.
You haven't seen Braveheart, the Romans, and arguably the British could conquer.
You have to be quick.
Couldn't conquer. No, they couldn't.
Very quick, lightning speed.
Because the Scots, which knew the Highlands very well, kept the Romans and the British well out of the way. They.
Leo, I'll get back to you on this one day.
You can type it in the chat.
Actually, that's not bad.
If you remember. If you remember.
I do, but I just. Okay, can I say it now?
Like I said,
yes,
I'm looking forward to going there.
Okay,
that sounds
okay.
like fun.
Michelle.
Yeah.
we have these things. And this is to Leo, obviously, because she's been desperate to hear this question,
Yeah.
and I've been desperate to ask it. We don't have anything like that, even though this country is was a medieval shithole back then. But we've never had any of these things, and I think it's because we don't want to be reminded of that sort of thing going on.
Yeah, that's
Really?
Does that make
understandable.
sense? Yeah, I think so.
However,
Well, what
you
do you
go,
guys
you
what
do
do you guys
have.
have there, Andrew? Do you have any types of fairs or?
Yeah, the only fairs that I can recall would be the the vegetable fairs, the fruit fairs, the harvest.
So like harvest fairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, finally I've got it out. I feel relieved.
By the way, what about the
now.
what about the Scottish Highland Games? How do
The
you guys
Highland
have
Games,
those?
yeah, they are not as good as they used to be. I'm going back even 20 years ago, and they were good. They were good even then. But see now they're just being pushed out. They're honestly being pushed out because of the changes that have happened, in the UK in general.
Yeah. So in other words, you
People
guys
don't.
kind of basically kind of didn't want to, like you said, continue remembering the past or what happened, or
Right, pretty much. I think there's a lot
that
of
sounds
truth
kind
in
of
that.
sad.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
It
like,
is
there's
very
no
sad.
saying
Yeah.
those who don't know history are bound to repeat it. I mean, if you think about it.
And maybe that's their way of saying,
Yeah.
attempting not to repeat it. So I'm assuming that's the only reason that I can think of. But it should be done again. It's fun because I remember even as a kid going back to those Highland fairs and stuff like that, and it was great fun. It was great fun. But
I mean,
even just to reenact it.
I still don't understand how you throw a friggin' telephone pole and call it a caber. I'm like,
Yeah. But
I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could pick those up on myself. That'd be a bit much. All of a sudden, my knee goes backwards. All of a sudden, me and the caber go both fall to the ground. Boom. Well, there you last, but you sure didn't move it very far.
No, definitely didn't. Well, some of them do actually.
Yeah. Actually, it's still like I mean, it's kind of fun. Of course, I mean, I've always been open to learning about new things. Dagger toss sounds kind of interesting, but archery sounds fun. Because actually, I don't know what the pull on the bow is, but if it's not too ridiculous, I probably could pull it. I've done. I do remember archery from school. How good am I going to
See,
be?
archery is more anything that happened anywhere in Europe. It was like William Tell. I mean, William
Yeah.
Tell certainly wasn't Scottish. He was, he was the guy that shot the guy, somebody with an apple on his head.
Yeah, that's what he's known
which
for.
wasn't true. Yeah, it wasn't really true anyway. But it's just more of a fantasy thing.
That's not true. The William Tell story.
I don't think it is. No, I don't think it's true.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's not. It's almost like a Robin Hood thing, which again is not true either.
Right.
Just like there's questions about King Arthur and Round Table and his stories by the original writer. I forgot, but he was a Frenchman. But they do say that there may be evidence there may have actually been a King Arthur in England. That I'm sure if that's the case, the stories have been made use a little bit of literary license to make them a little more exciting. Medieval life wasn't really that exciting.
The question, no, bourbon came later than whiskey, so I would say no, not corn whiskey. There's no such thing. I presume you see corn. I presume you mean something like wheat or something else.
What's
Whiskey's
the difference?
horrible.
What's corn whiskey? How's
I've
that
never heard
differ
of that in
from
my life,
whiskey?
to be honest. I've never
I
heard of
wouldn't
that
think they would drink
expression.
corn whiskey in
Toby,
Scotland because
stop.
maize wasn't imported into into Europe until around.
Oh, I see, Jen. Bourbon.
Maize came a lot later
Oh, I
on
see what you mean.
because it's a South American Mexican thing. But they certainly made whiskey out of barley and wheat and rye,
Okay.
and those are grasses that were commonly used in Europe.
Yeah, more so rye than corn. Definitely, corn was never really a thing in this country at all.
Seasons.
But I know what he's saying
So
now
is
about
Scotch?
the
Is Scotch
bourbon.
from Scotland then? Is that what that means? Scotch,
Yeah,
Scotland.
it is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Leo, really?
My dad likes Scotch.
I couldn't touch
Scotch
the
is
stuff.
made
It's
in
just,
charred barrels,
even the smell
which
of
is
it
a
is
form
just
of
like,
whiskey.
nah, it's too much. You know.
It smells like dirty feet.
It smells like it as well.
Yeah,
Did you see my muscle flexing before?
I didn't see since.
What?
Hay seasons.
Who was talking? Was that Noodles?
21 inches, Michelle. 22 inches. Biceps. 53-inch chest.
Is he flexing over there?
I'm not saying I'm strong. I think realistically, I don't think there was too many actual women that could actually throw a caber. I don't think I could do it, honestly. Throwing a telephone pole, I think that'd be a little bit much. The caber toss. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's like, I suppose, like JD and Southern Comfort. They're the more bourbony types of whiskey. And probably made from the corn. You know, I just don't like those things. They're too sweet for me. You know. Yeah, but having said that, as I said earlier on, I don't like whiskey in general. I just hate the taste, hate the smell.
Yeah, I'm not a whiskey drinker either. My ex-husband liked Jack and Cokes, and I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, I hate the smell. Yeah, I hate it. It's not very nice. Not to me. I know a lot of people like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michelle, have you ever had whiskeys? Any type of whiskeys?
So, like I said, and of course, another thing too is I'm actually looking forward to going to Renaissance Fair because there is something I really, really, really like is weapons. I like my bladed weapons. I like my swords. I like my knives. I like my daggers, and I like a shield too. So I'm kind of into that kind of stuff. Seeing how, oh yeah, I do want to get some blood elf ears or local elf ears. Maybe. That's one thing I really wish we had was BlizzCon. I kind of wonder because BlizzCon has cosplay. I don't see much, hearing much about BlizzCon next year or this year even. Maybe after this BS pandemic ends, maybe there'll be a BlizzCon. Yeah, it's expensive though.
What's a BlizzCon?
Yeah, I agree. It definitely involves physics and strength and knowing, for example, the finding the right center of gravity.
I think she turned me off.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a big piece of wood. I've seen the strongman throw those things on Discovery Channel, and I was like, how do you do that? I mean, this guy picked up these, as I said, they're like telephone poles, and they grab them and they like fling them. Like, whoa, dude! I can't do that.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Michelle, now the fact that you can't do stuff like that is because people nowadays are like, save the trees, save this, save that, this, everything, and the next thing. You can't throw anything like that, you know. You'd probably make it a bit of plastic or something that weighs like 500 pounds or something, you know.
Yeah.
A lot
Well,
of it's been lost, unfortunately.
yeah,
you
it's
know.
certainly heavy. It's not light. It's not like it's made out of foam. It's a big
No.
thing. It's made out of actual wood.
Yeah, but it's nicer when it is actually the real thing, you know.
You know,
It's
I'm
more
more like, if you
legitimate.
ever seen oh God, Brave. You know, Meredith, the little redhead curly girl. Yeah, it's kind of like me. Because my hair is naturally, it's kind of wavy. But if you ever could visualize me as a redhead, I did my hair dyed red one time. I didn't look like quite like Meredith, but damn, I got her. I have her temper. I can get really mad, especially if I'm not careful. I try to keep it cool. I try, and I don't always succeed, but I usually don't blow up much. But the thing is that she went out there and said, "I'll do it with my own hand," and she was like, "I'm going to show you what I can do." And she would go out there and she's shooting arrows and bang, 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 like because she didn't want any champion. Very spunky. I believe it actually may be based on an actual Scottish legend. I don't know the details. Kind of an interesting story.
I've never seen it.
Well, my natural hair color is kind of a mousy brown. It's not really that exciting. I chose to go darker. Although I've actually had a pretty dark brown, which is nice. People look at the dark brown and they're like, "Oh, that's nice." Yeah, I like the. That's by the way, that's the hair you can see in the 2020 cup, which is in my store. You can buy that cup and relive some of the dark eras. The dark years. Yeah. Absolutely dark hair for those dark years. Which means I really should have been just lightly brown now because the dark years haven't quite ended yet. I'm not ignoring Leo. Leo, am I ignoring you? No, I don't think so. Stan CT says, Leo, haven't you seen Braveheart? Michelle, Amazon wish list. I think you could easily pick up and throw Ed up the back porch if you were angry enough. Maybe, but then I also want to get a homicide charge. Do you really want to try to defend that in a court of law? It's fermented corn. Sleason said, "Good morning, Michelle Marie." Gianni says, "Scotch is made from barley." Red Foreman says, "Hi, Sleazy." Sleason says, "Leo BRB." Leo says, "Hello, Seasons." Sleason says, "Hi, Red." Red Foreman says, "Where have you been?" Andrea says, "Hi, hey, Seasons." Gianni says, "Yes, they're all the same, and should prefer bourbon. It's sweeter." So I don't see any messages here from Leo. I didn't know she was on the panel. I see that Andrew's still here on this panel. I didn't check the other one yet.
Yeah, Michelle, I'm gonna have to head off the panel because I'm gonna have to.
So Leo, was I trying to ignore you? No.
No, I know you weren't trying. You just didn't hear me.
Okay, well, what's the question you would ask me?
I don't remember now, Michelle.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So, I think, like I said,
Yeah.
I think the Renaissance Fair would be fun. All right, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Michelle, I'm gonna have to head off and we're gonna get something to eat. Leo, take care. You have a good
Maybe
day.
the scavenger
All right,
hunt
Andrew.
may sounds fun too.
Take care.
If that's open
Take
to
care,
adults, I'll do it.
You too. Michelle, I'll speak to you later. Have a good day and hopefully have a good afternoon.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon, Andrew. And
yeah, no worries. Take care. And that goes to everyone else. Take care, all.
Yep. Yeah, so anyway, Leo, so I'm going to get some World of Warcraft in later today. And then one question I didn't get an answer on, I'm going to put a poll up for it on the community tab, is with the night shows. Should the night shows, I probably only get 5 choices, so I'll figure out question: should night shows be on Twitch only? Should night show Wednesday be on YouTube and then Saturday be on Twitch? Should the IBS set be?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Put a poll up. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because because we're not getting. Well, you already know that anyway, because we're not monetized up in Twitch. But that was like, there were people that used to donate to night shows. But I want to know which one's going to be the most practical one to. I want to grow my Twitch audience, but I also want to grow my YouTube audience. That's what I'm trying to find out the best solution. All right, guys. The good news is.
All right, everyone.
It's a warm enough day.
Have a good day.
It's a warm enough day that we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go to McDonald's. Take the walker with us, obviously. Maybe take the laptop. Maybe bring this camera over here, which is already on the mount. And do a YouTube video from McDonald's. Or maybe I'll just edit the video at McDonald's. I don't know. That's an idea. Might as well bring your Wi-Fi too. Yeah, I might as well bring the Wi-Fi. Yeah, because theirs is slow. Their Wi-Fi is the same speed as mine at home. So my mobile Wi-Fi unit is still an option. Don't worry about that. It has food stamps too, just like I do. Oh, yes, I did mention this last night. Blinded Billionaire brought this up. 2 million EBT Snap accounts have been hacked. If you get EBT Snap cards and you will want to check your balance to find out if you are not one of the unlucky participants in that. So check out your EBT balance. Make sure it's what you expect it to be. Make sure that someone else didn't steal your stuff, steal your money. Because with the pandemic EBT food stamps for Connecticut will be coming out around the 18th. And it's confirmed that it will be pandemic emergency food stamps on the 18th. That is tomorrow. Woo! Tomorrow. So check your EBT snap. Make sure to see if you got any food stamp bonus tomorrow. There is more than that going on. Okay. ATM's going out as well. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But I didn't order anything lately with the ATM, so it's probably why I wouldn't have known if the ATMs were out. But check your food stamp balance because there is less security on an EBT Snap card than there is on debit cards. Okay, so just check your balances. Make sure they're good. If you have found out that some suspicious charges on the EBT Snap, contact your local social services division where you get your food stamp benefit card from and let them know so they can issue you a new card or refund you the charges. My arms are so big. Why would you want to hold me so tight? Oh, I don't need a boa constrictor. All right, Ellie. So everybody, you have a nice day. We're gonna try to get some World of Warcraft in today. We're gonna try. Okay, I didn't do it yesterday because I got stuck doing everything else, and then by the time I got to the computer, it was already time for the night show. I said, screw it. That's another story. All right, so everybody stay out of trouble. You have a nice day. Check your EBT Snap balance. Check your bank balance if you're concerned about that too. And we'll see each other real soon. Okay? Bye-bye.